Hey guys, I just wanted to take a minute and give you an update on what's happening at the land. Um, 2 weeks ago, we were up on the land because we wanted to try out one of Tim's new saws, and we noticed that the land that already has a log cabin on it, like a real one, not a primitive one like we're doing, was for sale, which was really odd because it just was sold this past May. It's November now. And at first, Tim was like, "That's not their house. It's the one next to it." And I was like, "I don't think so. I think it's their house." So anyway, I walked over there and I took a picture of the sign, and sure enough, it was their house. So then we kind of waited around for a little, putzed around. He did whatever he does with his saws, all the things. Um, while he was putzing around with his saws, I don't know if I should say putzing. I think it's real stuff that he has to do. Anyway, um, the guy that lives next door came out um, and had to get some stuff out of I don't know, one of the outbuildings that's like right next to where our land ends, and it's not that far away. So anyway, I ran over there and introduced myself because we actually have never talked. And I said, "Are you selling your house?" And he was like, "Yeah, my wife got relocated and, we've got to move." And I was like, "Oh man, that's a bummer." And he said, "Why, do you want to buy it?" And I was like, "Yes, we want to buy it." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Let me give you your wife's number." Anyway, long story short, um, we definitely would love to add that acreage to the land that we already have. And so we arranged to see their house and called our realtor, who luckily we have remained friends with our realtor who sold our last house. She actually moved into our neighborhood shortly after we moved into it. And get this, we had just like 3 weeks ago sat down with her to see how much our house was worth anyway. But at that point, we were like, well, that's awesome to know how much it's worth, but we don't have a house to move to, so we'll just stay put until, like I said in the other video, our kids are out of school. So anyway, change of plans, as it usually happens. So anyway, like all of the stuff was done to put our house on the market pretty quickly, because we couldn't buy the new house with the new land unless we sold our current house. So anyway, it's been a whirlwind of 2 weeks. Um, the housing market has slowed down, I think because of these crazy interest rates, but oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, so some people came to see our house this week, and it just couldn't have been more perfect. Their older parents are living with them, and our house is basically two houses in one. When we renovated this house, um, we bought it because it has a basement, and we have four kids all together, and we thought it would be good to have to finish the basement with rooms for, so everybody has their own room. But then we put a kitchen downstairs and a laundry room downstairs so that basically that whole basement can function as its own living space. So it was perfect for this young couple who came to see it. So I'm so excited that the house is going to continue to get used as it was meant to be used. Tim and I did a lot of work on this house, and we love it. We love it a lot. Um, so now, hopefully, we've signed the contract on our house, and we're going to turn around and put an offer on the house next to our land. So fingers crossed, everything goes fine with that. And yeah, I'm just like in shock and in awe of everything that's happened since last year this time, because last year this time may have been one of the darkest seasons of my life. And I've had a few dark seasons, but Um, this was the most fresh, so still healing from it. Um, so I am a bedside nurse, and I worked in one of the biggest hospitals in the Charlotte metro area. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, so in terms of how COVID was at the hospital, I feel like I did not have it as bad as the nurses that were in the ICUs and on the med surg floors. I mean, I don't know if I would have made it through all of that, but um, last year at this time, the horrible thing about being at the hospital was um, supply chain. We didn't have the tools that we needed to safely take care of patients. Staffing. The vaccine mandate, whether you agree with vaccines or not, that was the stupidest thing that they could have done. Stupidest, because all it did was make a bunch of nurses quit so that our staffing was even worse. And so then there weren't even enough people to take care of the patients. Um, so there we were, left at the hospital, trying to keep moms and babies safe, which I don't know if you know this, but having a baby is one of the most dangerous things that you can do. So it's a pretty intense job. And I never wanted to be in a position where I had to tell somebody that their wife or partner or baby had a bad outcome because we didn't have the tools that we needed or the staff that we needed to take care of them. So there were many nights that I came home from work and literally just laid down and cried. So anyway, during that dark time, I would hear this mantra in my head. It was like, go to ground, go to ground. So I think I heard that for two reasons. One, because yes, I have been a nurse for 21 years and I have always been a bedside nurse, except for the short period of time where I did get to, it was like a year. I got to stay home with my kids briefly. During that time, I was a yoga teacher, and I still do yoga and I still meditate, and I still think that meditating is one of the healthiest things that you can do for yourself. Anyway, so go to ground to like actually ground your energy. And then the other funny thing is, vampires have always been my favorite monster, and they would bury themselves in the ground to get rejuvenated or protect themselves from the sun. So anyway, I just always think that's funny. So that's where our YouTube channel name came from. Um, um, so anyway, yeah, so during the darkest times, my children were also very uh, unhappy, let's put it that way, about virtual learning. And, you know, I guess when you're upset, you feel like you can take it out on the person that you know is going to love you regardless of what you say to them and how you make them feel. So let's just leave it at that. Um, so anyway, during this dark time, I just had to like give it all up to God. And, um, we're not a huge God family. We don't go to church. I did start listening to church online. But um, my faith has really been restored during all these trying times. And then all of these great blessings that we keep getting once I surrendered. And, we're really trying to stay on track. We're really trying to stay positive. Things are moving forward for us, and we couldn't be happier or more grateful. So, yeah, lots more videos to come. Um, more of the primitive cabin building, more of him talking about all his saws, probably, and then hopefully once we finish our baby steps, if anybody else is on the Dave Ramsey plan, you'll know what I'm talking about. Once we get all that situated, then we can work on renovating our log cabin and work on all of our homesteading ideas. So um, that's just an update from us. So lots more videos to come. Thanks.